back to Much Music, and I am here with some of the legions of Geri Halliwell fans. Very exciting next hour we have. We're going to be hanging out with Geri, as well as taking your questions for her, chatting with her, as well as she's going to be performing with her dancers a couple of the tracks from her new album, Schizophrenic. So to kick things off, this is the first single, Look at Me, Geri Halliwell.
Good looking, bad tasting, full-bodied, but wasted, loose living, tight fitting. What you see ain't what you are getting. Big makeup, little breakup. She wants it, he's got it. Cold-blooded, hot gossip, superficial expectations. Look at me. Can take it all because this face is free. Maybe next time use your eyes and look at me. I'm the drama queen if that's your thing, baby. I can even do reality. Honey, real plastic, stupid Cupid, fantastic, queer thinking, straight talking. What you see ain't what you are getting. Fast loving, slow moving, no rhythm, but I'm grooving. Old feeling, new beginning, superficial expectations. Look at me. Can take it all because this phase is free. Maybe next time use your eyes and look at me. I'm a drama queen if that's your thing, baby. I can even do reality. That's me. Sometimes I don't recognize my own face. My little white lies tell a story. I see it all, it has no glory. Look at me. Take it all because this face is free. Maybe next time use your eyes and look at me. I'm a drama queen if that's your thing, baby. I can even do reality. Come on, look at me. This place is free.
I didn't recognize you without your headphones.
I know, I'm not in building tonight. So I'm forced to contend with Burning Up the Joint with her fabulous dancers, Geri Halliwell. Okay, after this, we're going to be back to chat with Geri, so stick around.
Hi. Have a good time last night.
I had a great Hey, welcome back. You are getting well, Geri Halliwell. Very happy to have her here today. Hey, Geri.
Hey.
Yay.
Hello.
And then the fans out there and the fans here.
Yeah.
And the epicenter right here.
Wow.
So you were at the Much Music Video Awards yesterday. What was the high
so were
point?
you.
I was.
Besides your hat, which was great, and she made it herself, and I just love that. I do things like that, make my own costumes. What was the high point? I tell you what was good for me was when I went on stage
and obviously, you know, you get a bit nervous. And I did my little thing, and everyone was going, Geri, Geri, and I just thought, God, that's so nice. You don't know how much things like that you really appreciate.
Yeah.
And that was nice. I thought David Bowie was great. The Muppets, is it the Mofats?
Not the Muppets or the Mofats, but the Moffats.
The Muppets, I thought they were good.
Yeah.
Very cute. And sorry, I get everybody's name wrong, don't shoot me. And yeah, it was great. Good evening, had my all.
Yeah.
I like the actual party atmosphere of it. It's kind of real the opposite of normal award ceremonies.
Yeah,
so,
where it's like, oh.
yeah, it's not, it's really just, it's all about the fans, which is the most important thing, I think.
Yeah, the celebration of everything together.
Yeah, you're so cute in this outfit. I like this little coat.
Oh, thanks. I was very nervous. I was all sweating, so I had these huge sweats.
Right, so you just find, no, that's great. It's worked out great.
So we have like a soundbite from last night's MMVA stuff. So let's take a look at it right now. This is Geri last night here, the same place.
Well, you know what? There's one thing I've got to say. You look fabulous.
I thought I'd make an effort for, you know, the Canadian, very nice looking men tonight, and girls. If only I was a little bit taller. If only I could find a nice Canadian man to fertilize my eggs.
You know what? I'll be over here taking names, all right. I'll screen them.
If only you could find a nice Canadian man to fertilize your eggs.
That girl is not me. She's shocking.
So, yeah, biological. Very biological.
I think it's, you know, one of those things. People say, well, are you ready for babies? No, well, I think it's one of those things, you know, every day is different. And sometimes you get this feeling, I'm sure most girls will identify with me. Suddenly you just get this overwhelming need, you know, then you think you can almost hear them ticking. You think, yes, I'd like to feel those maternal instincts, but then it goes away again and, you know, something else comes into play.
Right.
But you know what, there's never a right time to have a baby. Most mothers tell me that, but who knows?
So then last night was the night that
it was
ticking.
ticking last night. And this morning, so someone said to me, I'll do it. And I said, well, okay, if I'm allowed to be choosy, let's start checking genetics and genes out.
Yeah, your next phase, the impregnation of Geri Halliwell.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Okay, so you have your first solo album, Schizophonic.
Yeah.
Originally it was called Schizophrenic, and you changed the title. So how does that reflect you?
Well, schizo and phrenic means split mind, and that's a Greek, Latin. And I wanted to, because after I wrote all the songs, I really found that, you know, there was 5 red songs and 5 white songs. The red are very kind of cheeky, lustful and extroverts, and the white songs are more full of conscience and integrity and reflection, more vulnerable side. And I think everybody's got that side, and I just thought, God, this is so apparent. It's so split. And then I know there's a disease, you know, obviously called schizophrenia, and I didn't want to offend anybody, so I thought, well, okay, what else, you know, and so I made up my word. Phonic means sound, which, you know, is an overspill of my personality into music. So hence you got Schizophonic.
Yeah, so
and lots of people can't say it. And the amount of chat shows I've been on and they just completely saying it wrong. Yeah.
So I guess the big mood swings of Geri and all the different styles of music.
That's another womanly thing, isn't it? We all get these manic mood swings. You know, I'm so prone to them. It's like, you know, where you stand sometimes. God. Anyway,
when you were putting together this whole thing in transition between your former group, Spice Girls, and what you're doing today, was there a transitioning period where you had to go, okay, who am I again? What do I want to do?
Yeah, I think the only way I can describe it, when you are in a relationship and in a long-term relationship, it's all-consuming. Do you know, if you get married to somebody, you become their wife, their mother, okay, and you become Mrs. So-and-so, and and that was part of my life, and I was happy, you know, about that. But obviously, if you leave something, you know, they were my family, my friends, everything, my work, everything. Yeah. So, you know, it was, and that was my identity, in a way. Although I'd like to think that, you know, I did have quite a strong identity. People still always call me Geri, even within the press. You know, it was a mixture of the two, the ginger and the Geri. And so for a while, you know, like a lot of women, when they lose a relationship, you kind of go into a mode where you wipe off your makeup, you know, you tie your hair back, and you just want to get back to basics and not bother with anything outer image. It's more you go within, and that's what I did, you know.
Did you have to retreat somewhere to like go somewhere where people weren't like Geri?
I stayed at George Michael's house a lot, but then I kept myself busy. I think when you're in time of change, sometimes you need something to kind of keep you busy, keep you occupied, you know, so you don't feel depressed. So I did lots of research into breast cancer, and you know, I was fitting around, and I was right. The weird thing was, the minute I left, you know, I've always been very instrumental in the writing in the band, I was, and you know, all the creative input, I've always, you know, come up with an influx of ideas. And the minute I left, I didn't know I was going to go solo, but I just started writing again. I just thought, oh, okay, what does this mean? I'm always writing. Do you know what, after last night, I actually didn't go to the party because I was feeling, you know, I knew that I had a long day today. I wanted to be, you know, sparkly today. And, you know, so I got in the bath and I looked really unglamorous, and I had like, you know, one of those hats on to stop your head.
Okay.
And, you know, and I wiped all my makeup off, and I was in my bubbles, and I just wrote a song then, you know, after the Much Music Awards. So when it comes on the album, I'll tell you which one the next album, I'll tell you which one it's.
Cool.
So that was good.
A very different look too that you're sporting these days. Gone are the bustiers and platform shoes, and you're like basic black, really sleek. So how did you come to that kind of representation of yourself? I
think, you know, because everyone really started commenting on my image when I left the group, you know, the drastic change, and I just think, you know, everybody goes through, you know, change, and I think, but you should never force it. I just wear what I like, you know.
Comfortable?
Comfortable is so important, because if you're not comfortable, then it will just shine through. But you know, if you do this test, right, you can wear the same two outfits, the same outfit on 2 different days. Okay, on day one, everyone could look at you and you can be, I think, God, I feel hot today. The next day, same outfit, no one can, you know, you're invisible. And that just shows you it's not what you wear, it's how you're shining through. And that's a cliche, but cliches are true. So the way I feel now, you know, every day I feel different. I think clothes dress your personality, which dresses your soul. So you just dress how you feel, you know, that's it. Cool.
In the realm of pop culture, it seems like it's neat talking to you, because you are a person that is kind of embodied and gone through that whole superstar journey. But in the reality of being a superstar, it seems like artists are surrounded by a lot of creative people that help to you know, put together a superstar's image, the whole thing. So having gone through that whole process, what's some of the behind-the-scenes processes of the creation of
I think image? You know, the best kind of artist, you know, for me anyway, which I like to see and like to do myself, is you know, I think any artist, you know, anything artistic or creative should come from the artist. That's what makes you an artist. However, then you have some great people to help exercise your ideas, you know, help to bring out what you want to express. That's from, you know, I write my own songs, and, you know, and from the beginning to the end, when you see the video, that comes from me. But then obviously you get a great director to say, you know what, I think I'd love to see this and this, and I feel it this way. You know, you get a great choreographer and say, you know what, I'd like to express it in this way. Can you just build on that? You know, you've only got one pair of hands. So, I mean, a lot does go into it, but at the end of the day, I think you can, it's like a movie, right? When you get a movie and you can have millions of pounds pumped into that movie with big explosions and, you know, the top actors and but if the script is not good, if the heart of that script is not great, that movie is going to be
that's going to be Armageddon.
Yeah,
movie Armageddon.
I can't comment, but, you know, you've got to have something, the heart and spirit behind it, otherwise I mean, you've got some great bands that are just based on that, you know, which is fine.
Yeah, so what do you think was your substance, your spirit that transcended all the other stuff?
Well, you know, I think what I try to do is, you know, when I write my stuff, I write about what I feel, and then it kind of progresses so that everybody can identify with what I'm singing about. You know, and so I try and put something personal in there so everyone can put it into their own life.
You're very honest too, like you're very kind of like, you come off, your High 8 video documentary, it was like, that was cool to see because it was like showing you in a vulnerable time, all kinds of different...
Well, in a way, I mean, I had half, you know, consent on that and half not, and she was a very talented lady. She normally does the Prime Minister or London Zoo, and she, you know, she's award-winning maker, and it was great, and she became a mate. But the point is, half of me was absolutely cringing to show that side of myself. But that, you know, and it was a very vulnerable side of time of my life. You know, I just left the group. But then half of me thinks, you know what, I'll show it because, you know, I think people find comfort. You know, it doesn't matter who you are. Everyone has down days, everyone has up days, you know, and to show that I can feel that too, then, you know.
Yeah, that was a brave move, but it makes interesting and more compelling viewing, I think.
I was quite compulsive, wasn't it? Some of the bits. Oh, God.
Okay, we're going to be back with Geri. I'm hanging out with her for the next hour.
Am I going to go out there?
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
Okay, hello. Hello. Hi. Hello. Is that for me? Hi. Wow. Hello.
Geri Halliwell with her adoring fans.
Do I come down? Oh, look, there's me last night.
Hey, so how do you feel about seeing Geri?
Cool, I love her.
What do you think?
Great. I really like Geri. Yeah. Geri, I love you.
Keep up the good work.
Hey, hello. Thank you, I love you.
Okay then. Oh wait, at the camera. Wait till I'm at home.
Okay, so this is one side of being a superstar. We're going to be hanging out with Geri Halliwell, blabbing stuff with her, and more to come after this. She's very busy right now.
See you later.
Hey, back with Geri Halliwell, her new album, Schizophrenic. So Geri, what was it like being a kid growing up in Watford?
Watford. I think Watford is a real representation of real normality, suburbia, average kind of town. It's got good bits, got bad bits. You know, I come from quite a relatively, you know, poor background. My mother was a cleaner, and my dad was 50 when I was born, and he didn't work. So my, you know, role model was kind of my mother, always working, putting the food on the table. But my dad gave me all the kind of like art and creativity. He was so into that, and you know, I was a bit of a flea bag at school, actually, I have to say, yeah.
What was your social standing? Kind of an outsider?
Well, a little bit, you know. If you look at most people, actually, that pursue fame and, you know, who are pop stars or, you know, actresses or, you know, they are normally, you know, something a little bit dysfunctional about being at school and made to feel, you know, I was very terribly short. I was, you know, when I was about 12, you know, I looked 6. When I was 14, you know, I was so underdeveloped, you know, and everyone else had boobs and periods and growing up and boyfriends, and I just, instead I actually turned to pop music, and that's what was really good because it, you know, it gave me companionship in that respect, because I felt, I think it's really tough, you know, going through puberty because it's change. You just want to be accepted, and you think everybody else's family is perfect. The reality is nobody is like the Waltons. Nobody is perfect, you know. So, but it, you know, I had some good moments. I actually started writing, you know, when I look back from a really early age. I was always writing like poetry. I had an outside toilet, and I was always sitting on the back doorstep writing poetry. And then, you know, on rave records or any record that you have.
A toilet, did you say? Like an outhouse?
Outside toilet.
So
you sit waiting for my turn, yeah.
Okay.
And then, and also, and then as I got older, you know, in instrumental breaks, like in house records, I used to write over them. Do you know what I mean? That's when I first kind of started, yeah.
We have a question from Jean-Paul.
Jean-Paul.
Over there.
Hello, Geri.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. That's kind of a French name, isn't it?
Yes. I'm not French, though.
You're not?
It's nice to see you again. I was here at your
Thank
last
you.
interview.
Oh, great. Good
Okay,
to
my
see.
question for you is, how does your family feel about all your, you know, your individual accomplishments without your other group? Like singing to Prince Charles and becoming a Goodwill ambassador?
Oh, well, particularly my mother.
Your mother?
Yeah, she gets very excited because she always wanted me to become a teacher. She kept on, she's Spanish, she always go to me, Geri, why can't you get a proper job and settle down and, you know, get a nice boyfriend and get married and, you know, work the 9 to 5? And she'd never quite understand it. And, but, you know, when I got the UN role and, you know, the Prince Charles thing, she thought it was great. I mean, she's really proud. You know, I think all mums are proud of their, you know, kids, no matter what they do. And, you know, so my brothers and sisters, sometimes, you know, do you know what actually happens is I get extra, you know, like big brothers, they punch their little sisters. My brother is so adamant that I will not turn into a big head. He kind of gives me extra jip, do you know what I mean? He's always getting me in a headlock. We still fight, do you know what I mean? I give him a dead leg.
You and your mom seem very, very tight, too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very actually my father's daughter as well, you know, I'm very much both of them.
Yeah.
You know, my mother's Spanish, and I've got all her kind of temperamental hand gestures and very affectionate. Hiya. See, there you go. You know, that's where all that comes from. Hello. Hey. And, you know, I'm very cuddly.
Cool.
So, sorry.
And your father had passed away when you were growing up. Did his passing, and he's very instrumental in encouraging you as a performer.
Yeah, I mean, I was totally his, like, Shirley Temple. You know, I would, you know, after dinner, I'd kind of do the good ship lollipop for him, and, you know, he really wanted me to be an actress or a singer, and he was totally supportive in that for me, and, you know, because he was in love with all those kind of old movie stars from his time, and then he died actually 6 months before I started the Spice Girls, which is kind of, you know, tragic in itself, but in some ways I was so sad and so upset by the whole thing. I poured every you know, bit of pain into that. It kind of, if you look at most people that are very successful, they do have one parent, a loss of a parent, because it drives you, because you know, you feel such grief. You really do.
So it helped his death and your acknowledgement of mortality mobilize you.
Yeah, totally. I think if I'm looking back,
We have a phone caller, Katrina from Hamilton, who has a question for you.
Okay, Katrina.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, my question is...
That's a great name, Katrina in the Waves.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
I was wondering, which one of your past experiences mostly made you who you are today?
I think, you know, what we've talked about, but everything makes you who you are. I mean, I've realised your parents have so much to do with how you feel, what fears you feel, you know, how much confidence you have about yourself. You know, I had enough love and enough kind of insecurity to make enough confidence, you know, that mixture to make me to seek out approval, but then confident enough to go and do that as well. You know, your parents have such a lot to do with who you are. And, you know, and it's tough being a parent. We expect so much out of our parents that, you know, sometimes, you know, you go through that. I remember when I was a teenager being a bit of a rebel and saying, you know, being a kind of angry kid. And, you know, when you look back, no one teaches a parent how to be a parent, really. They're just doing the best they can, and there's no handbook. So I think, you know, being a mother is the hardest job in the world, and I totally commend any mother out there.
We also have a question from Aiden, who's in the audience.
Oh, hi, Geri.
Hi, Aiden.
Hi, my name's Aiden. This is Yasha, my friend.
Hello.
Hi. I just want to say I think you're such a great influence on girls everywhere.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And the question I want to ask is, you've accomplished so much in life. Is there anything else you want to accomplish?
You know, I feel very lucky. I've done a lot, you know, and sometimes if I step out my shoes, I think, wow. You know, just even sitting here, being interviewed on telly, and people are interested to know what I've got to say. There's fans out here, and I think, God, they're here for me. That's amazing. But, yeah, thank you. But then I think, you know, you can never stop challenging yourself. And I'm one of these people, I really realise that when I feel fear about something, I think I get drawn to it like a moth to a flame. I feel like I have to overcome my fear. You know, it just makes you grow. You should never stop changing. You know, like the nature, like the seasons. You've got to
confronting your fears.
I think it's a good one. Yeah, anything you're afraid of, just go for it. Rise to the challenge. Don't see it as something as negative. See, right? Okay, I'm going to see if I can do this. You know, and you know, and the other thing is we've got to. What I've learned is that, you know, I always used to think to myself, okay, when I get this, then I'm going to feel content and happy, and when I get this, but actually, the reality is, it's not when you paid off your mortgage or when, you know, you've done, you know, you go out with that person or you get a brand new car. It's now. It really is now. You've got to enjoy the ride. It's true. I think that.
Cool. You've also done a lot of work in terms of social causes, Uganda relief, also kids with who are suffering from cancer, and your UN ambassador role. What compels you to want to help people? What do you think is the root of that?
I don't think I'm anything special, you know, for doing that, because if you ask any person in the street, you know, do you care about this, you know, certain situations, everybody will put their hand in their pocket everybody has a heart, you know. I'm nothing special. And, you know, but all I'm doing is something exaggerated with my fame. You guys gave me fame, you know, and I've said this before, you can either use the advantages of fame, like getting special treatment, jumping queues, and, you know, and that kind of thing, which is great, you know, sometimes. But then, you know, I'd like to use something to be productive with my fame. Fame is like a shining light, so you can say, okay, come with me and look at this, what's going on in third world countries, like the Philippines where I went, where they don't have the same rights as we have, you know, like health and reproductive care. But I'm not trying to preach to anyone. All I'm saying is everyone deserves the right to choose. That's it.
Right.
You know, you've got to respect other people's, you know, religions and cultures and opinions, but it's just saying, you know what, this is here if you want it, and everyone deserves that right to be able to choose.
Right, to have some control.
Oh, absolutely. That's what's, you know, empowering, I think.
Yeah. Do you feel somehow like, can you identify with people's struggles as well? It seems like even looking at people who have really spearheaded different social causes, you look at their personal lives and it's like they do feel kind of, they have had to go through a lot of struggles themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I've had struggle, but so is the next one. I mean, if you speak to anybody, you know, if you're sitting at a bus stop and, you know, and someone said, and you just ask an old lady or you ask anybody, everybody has had something happen to them in their life that is kind of mind-blowing, and just, it could be a small thing that suddenly alters their perception on life. That's just some sort of pain. That's part of life, you know, and everybody's degree of pain, whatever circumstances, is the same in retrospect. I mean, sometimes you can get people that, you know, I've been to Africa and there's little kids and they've got, you know, haven't got the same shelters we have, the same food, and their eyes are shining. You know, they have such spirits, you know, and that's a lesson to us all, really. You can learn from that.
Yep. We're going to be coming back and you're going to be performing with your boys again.
I am indeed.
More songs from Geri's album Schizophonic and
And this one is not going to be, it's going to be released later on in the year. It's called Bag It Up, and actually it's about the how men and women are kind of, we're different species, we should respect each other, and it's a real disco number.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, you're an artist that so many different people love you. Kids, older people, men, women, straight, gay, feminists, non-feminists, so many people.
Well, I write music for everyone, you know. I think, you know, you should be able to take a piece of music if you want and take it at whatever level you want. If you want it at face value and just happy, lift you up, it's there. If you look into the lyrics, I try to write something intelligent and speak to you. You know, there's something for women will identify with it. You know, I'm flattered that all walks of life like it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
Okay, Geri Halliwell, still to come.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Right on. Thank you. Outside here at Much Music. So, yet another performance, Geri and her boys. This is a track called Bag It Up from her solo album, Schizophonic. Geri Halliwell.
Bad company. I like midnight, so I'm in the
the trouble.
Bagging it up with Geri and her boys. Wait, come back. She will be back to talk with us. To answer your questions, Geri Halliwell, stick around. Oh no. Did they change it? Back with Geri Halliwell and her blue fun fur hat.
Oh, this guy just gave it to me. He's a designer.
Cool.
Up and coming. Ooh.
So you have a new book coming out, an autobiography. If only,
Yes. ...
So what's that about?
It's just, I started writing that when I was about 16, and it's kind of a combination of, I was the original wannabe, you know, chasing a dream and knocking on doors, never getting anywhere, told I was too this or too that, not good, whatever. But some of my encounters were so funny, and I believe in life that you have to laugh at, you know, the bad times as well as the good. And you know, I've had, you know, raging with eating disorders, you know, when I was a teenager, and so I'm very open and honest about that. So, and I know lots of young girls and young women actually still plagued by it, and it's kind of, I do tackle it in a very kind of funny Bridget Jonesy kind of way through diary, and I do touch on all my time with the Spice Girls. It's not a kiss and tell on them, it's a kiss and tell on me. You know, I'm very honest about growing up and change.
Yeah. Well, with the eating disorder, how did you get a handle on that one?
I think it's, you know, I've come to the conclusion that all eating disorders or anything like that, whether you're a gambler or an alcoholic, it's just a symptom of lack of self-esteem, and that's all that is down to, because and I think as you grow older and you learn to love yourself,
right.
You know, that kind of thing, you know, you do grow out of it. I started doing, you know, yoga and, you know, just trying to be a bit more balanced about things.
Do you do any sort of like meditation or anything like that?
I try to, but that's so bloody hard.
It's difficult, so hard.
Yeah.
You've also, you've had a really very colorful life, lots of different things you've done. Tell me about, what do you remember about being a nude model?
Okay, well, at the time I was studying English literature, studying Hamlet by the day and Sons and Lovers, and I just really fell in love with literature, and because you can experience things without getting your fingers burnt. It's brilliant. And but somebody said to me, you know what, you could earn $100, you know, if for 1 hour's work, and you know, all you have to do is take your top off. And I thought, well, you know, I've done that on the beach in Europe. We do that. So I thought, that can't be so bad. And you know, and I did it for a little while. To be honest, it wasn't, you know, challenging enough for me. I did it, and it was something, you know, that I'm not ashamed of. It was good money at the time, and it, you know, paid a few bills. Money wasn't great, and the work wasn't a lot, but it was just something I did.
Right. Yeah. So easy work for you though. So, because sometimes it can be hard standing there.
Oh my God, it was freezing.
Holding your body.
It was very freezing and a lot of pressure. You know, obviously you know, to look good and that kind of thing, and it's not the most challenging thing for your mind.
Yeah.
You know, and then they've got the window open to keep you all perky and upright, which is not fun.
What about your job as a video censor?
Oh yeah, that was I decided in life that I was going to get a proper job, and when I left college and I went to work for a video firm where I had to sit in a dark room and check cartoons, make sure, you know, that there wasn't any lines down the screen. And I remember once Dippity Dog did say shit. He went, I said shit. And so, you know, you just had to send things back like that. And but I used to, everyone had to turn up in a suit, and I'd be in my cat suit and trainers. But I've been dyeing my hair since 12 years old, which I don't recommend it to anybody, because, you know, I remember putting peroxide in my hair and all my hair fell out. It was awful.
Yeah, that's bad.
You know, I've been blonde, black, red, and back again, all the way around. You know, because everyone always comments to me about, you know, my change of look.
Yeah.
But it started at a very early age.
12 years old. Yeah, it sounds like a science fiction kind of existence, that video censoring stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another question from Corey. Hello, Corey.
Hello, Corey.
Okay,
Hi, Geri.
Hi, Geri. Well, welcome back to Toronto, first of all.
Thank you.
My question is to you, with your busy schedule, how do you make time for your family and friends?
Well, you have to make time in life. I mean, I've been out here a week and I've had a fantastic time. You know, a week for me is like, what I do in a week is like a month's worth of things. You know, it's just packed from, you know, the minute I get up in the morning till, you know, I go to bed at night, I'm doing something. And so, tonight I jump on a plane, I'm going back to Britain. And so tomorrow, my brother and sister are going to come round and, we'll have a cup of tea and a chat. So you just have to make time, really. So I try not to let my family suffer, that relationship, because that's, really important, because they've got kids and I like to see them grow up. Sometimes I get too tired to go out partying, but when I do, I really make up for it. Do you know what I mean? I can be out till 5 o'clock in the morning.
So time management, because you're up. You were up before 6 a.m. You had an interview today.
Yeah, and
I don't know how you do
God.
it. Well, you're up till late last night.
Yeah, but I think it's because if you're excited about what you're doing, do you know what I mean? That's the biggest, energy boost you could ever get, really, at the end of the day. And I feel lucky, I'm very grateful to all the fans that put me here where I am today. And so I'm having a great time.
Right on. We have also a caller, David from Newfoundland, on the phone. Hey,
Hello, David.
Hi, Geri.
Hi, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm good, actually. I've had this is the last thing I'm doing in Canada, and I'm a little bit sad to be leaving, actually.
Yeah.
I've had such a nice time.
Yeah. My question is, what do you think about Melanie G and Melanie C pursuing solo careers, and do you wish them success in their efforts?
Oh my God, of course I do. I mean, at the end of the day, they've still got their group, and I wish them all, the luck in the world, because I think any artist, doing what we're doing is tough, You have to be so committed. You don't just get out and do one show, you have to jump on planes and go everywhere. And, the best part of my job is writing the songs and performing it, but you actually only get probably to do that 5% of your job. So it's tough. So, of course, I wish them all the luck in the world. Absolutely. Really.
Okay, that's good. Would I be able to ask one more little thing?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, would you be able to say happy birthday to my friend Jennifer Clark?
Jennifer?
Yes.
How old's Jennifer then?
Well, she turned 17, but
17?
She's a real big fan.
Happy birthday, Jennifer.
Okay, thanks a lot.
There you go.
Right on.
All right.
So the Spice Girls epilogue, with all the girls are pursuing different careers as yourself. What do you think of Mel's new punk incarnation? She's got a new album coming out. Like, was she always like that? Was she like the punk girl, the rock and roll?
I once went to a Blur concert with her, and we boshed around. I think it's part of her. I can't believe that she'd do anything fake. I think so, yeah.
Cool.
I'm sure she wouldn't do it, although if she didn't feel comfortable in what she was doing.
It's interesting, the track, though. Her voice is all goes through a lot of distortion and stuff.
I haven't really given it I've heard it very, very briefly, so I can't really comment, to be honest.
And how about Victoria's stuff? You're keeping abreast of her, career in terms of the family and acting and stuff like that?
Thing is, when you separate from something, what you have to do is giving each other enough time to move on, to be your own person. And you always, I'm so happy for her, that she's got kids and she's settling down and she's really happy. And then equally, I've had to have time to be, before you can go back. Yeah. So I haven't really seen them that much, to be honest.
Yeah,
and give them the space to be a foursome, quite rightly, and that's what they've got to be.
Yeah. It's difficult you do have to move on. Nothing really stays the same.
No, it never does, It's like when you have a boyfriend, it's nice, even if it ends, it's nice to have felt love for a period of time, and then, boyfriends don't have to end, it doesn't have to end acrimoniously, it can end, buddies.
Right, yep. And you're in the transitionary stage right now where you're just figuring out yourself. We have an outside question.
Okay, come on. Go on then, ask it.
Hi, Geri. I'm Sumit. I wanted to say that I love you for using your fame for good. And my question was, does it bother you that you're still recognized as a Spice Girl?
Not at all. Absolutely not. I'd be silly to shy away from where I've come from. At the end of the day, being a Spice Girl was, what put me in this seat today. I was I helped be part of such a thing. I gave my heart and soul to that, being a Spice Girl. I'm proud of that. So I think even when I'm 60, people, I'm sure they'll know me as for being a Spice Girl. So absolutely not, Of course, I want to be accepted as Geri as well, but that's just part of me,
We have an email question as well, and it says, "Hi there, Geri. My name is Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
And play guitar in an all-girl band
called Thule
from Toronto. You have been a great inspiration to us. You rock. My question is, if you were to stage the Geri Fair, what artists, past or present, would you invite to perform?"
Okay, I actually saw the Lilith Fair when it came to London, and it was so brilliant. It was so simple, you know, just, you know, a curtain and everyone doing their thing on the guitar. And, you know, I don't know, pretty much like the Lilith Fair, but maybe a bit more variety in the sense of have a combination of, you know, you could have folk, you could have rock, you could have all sorts. Because, you know, I believe that, you know, most people like it all. You know, if it's good in its area and it's strong and it has something to say and it's, you know, and it moves you, then it's, you know, if you like music, you can appreciate any kind of music.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And you'd have like cross-gender, cross-age.
Yeah, we'd have them all.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, and last question, what are you working on? What's the next big challenge in your life?
Well, let me see. I'm really proud of my album, and I'm going around trying to promote that. You know, I've got Michiko, who's just done really well.
Yep.
And so I'm really pleased. And then I've got a new single coming after that called Lift Me Up. And the video, I swear to you, is... when I make videos, you know, I try and just make mini movies. And it's kind of a chance to do a little bit of acting and really have a laugh. And this one has got a beginning, a middle and an end. And it's when you watch it, it just really makes you crack up. I won't tell you what happens in it. But when you get a chance to watch it, just watch it for sake of it, even if you're not a fan of mine. I think you'll enjoy it. It's really fun. It's got a good sense of humour in it.
We have just a few more moments, and I think the folks outside would love to see you again.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you so much for coming down and being here.
Well, if this is my last chance, I want to say a big thank you to everybody and for supporting me. I've had a brilliant time in Canada. Thank you all very, very much. And I'd like to come back very, very soon.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming down, everyone. Okay, so obviously we're going to be seeing tons more from Geri Halliwell. And for the time being, in her present incarnation as solo artist, she's outside of the building and continue on with her success. This is Geri Halliwell, Much Music with her fans.